Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Rita's Book Club. This week I'm reviewing The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzi Lee. This book was suggested to me by my dear friends Mara and Lupe, and I was just so excited to read it. It really seemed like such an adventure of a story that I felt like it would be a special one. Henry Monty Montaga was born and bred to be a gentleman. But he was never one to be tamed by anyone. The finest boarding schools in England and the constant disapproval of his father haven't been able to curb any of his roguish passions. The gambling halls, the late nights spent with a bottle of spirits, or waking up in the arms of women and men. But as Monty embarks on his grand tour of Europe, his quest for a life filled with pleasure and vice is in danger of coming to an end. Not only does his father expect him to take over the family estate upon his return, but Monty keeps nursing an impossible crush on his best friend and traveling companion, Percy. Still, it isn't in his nature to give up. Even with his younger sister Felicity in tow, he vows to make his year-long escapade one last hedonistic hurrah and flirt with Percy from Paris to Rome. But when one of Monty's reckless decisions turns their trip abroad into a harrowing manhunt that spans across Europe, from land to sea, it calls into question everything he knows, including his relationship with the boy he adores. I was completely obsessed with this book. The story is just so interesting, and you really feel like you're embarking on this journey with Monty, Percy, and Felicity. You feel their struggles to survive, but also to understand the situations they are put through. Mostly you just get an opportunity to see these characters seeing themselves and their friends in a different light. Like they all thought they knew everything they needed to know about each other. So it was really amazing to read them learn new things. Monty's depression, Percy's illness, and even Felicity's drive to be a doctor, or her struggles as being a woman. Of course, the main focus is mostly on Monty and Percy's dynamic as best friends, but also as people that realize they have feelings for each other. I really love their characters as individuals, but together they are just so powerful and intense. They both grew up so much during this whole adventure, especially Monty. Both went through some dark stuff. Monty with his depression and abusive father that really just made him rebel, and Percy with epilepsy. I think both of them learned to trust each other and how to take care of the other. By the end of the book, I feel like they both felt validated in their own struggles, which I think was super important for them to develop their romantic relationship. Their chemistry was super intense, so it really was bound to happen. And then we have Felicity. I loved how she was represented as this smart and fierce young woman that was trying to fight the system in place. She just wanted to get her education, the one she knew she deserved, and to fulfill her dream of being a doctor. She had infinite patience for Monty's antics, but I think that their own relationships as siblings grew a lot from their shared trauma of the trip. I also really loved how you get them in these amazing European cities like Paris, Marseille, Barcelona, Venice, and Santorini, and how life really was in the 18th century for both rich and aristocrats, but also to merchants and pirates, for example, even how it really was for people of color, how they were treated by society, and how Percy really felt about it, and how he was treated while growing up as a man of color in aristocratic society in England. I think it was a great lesson, even for Monty, to finally realize what Percy had been through. After I finished this book, I found out that the author released a novella of Monty's and Percy's first weeks as a couple in Santorini, called The Gentleman's Guide to Getting Lucky. I definitely encourage you guys to read it after reading the first book, because it's a delight to read how they try to function as a couple and exploring their new relationship and their new desires. Finally, I'm super curious to keep reading the Montague sibling series and read The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy, dedicated to Felicity and their own adventure. So probably I'm gonna try to read that pretty soon. As always, if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram at Rita's Book Club for more content. Thanks for watching and see you next week. Happy readings!